Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, trend update. United Nations, the UN, to hold an emergency meeting over Temple Mount violence. And today is July 23rd, 2017. Scripture references out of Zechariah 12, verse 3. On that day, I will make Jerusalem a heavy stone for all the peoples. All who lift it will surely hurt themselves, and all the nations of the earth will gather against it. And what we have here is a map of effectively Israel to the west. Here's the Dead Sea, Jordan River. Israel to the west. Outlined in the green is the West Bank. This is what they want to split up, break up, and form the nation of Palestine. Also down here in the south and the west, we have the Gaza Strip. And to the east, we have modern-day Jordan. Here is Amman. Here is Jerusalem, where all the violence has taken place. So the UN, the United Nations, has called an emergency meeting for Monday, July 24, 2017. And the issue is the violence in Jerusalem surrounding the Temple Mount. Sweden, France, and Egypt have called for the meeting, and the news was given to the world by a tweet. Sweden ambassador to the Security Council, Carl Skau, made the following statement, and here you go. You can read it for yourselves. Sweden, France, and Egypt request United Nations Security Council to urgently discuss how calls for de-escalation in Jerusalem can be supported. And I got a link provided if you want to check out his Twitter handle and what all he's putting out. Now, the Mideast Quartet, and that would be the United States, the European Union, Russia, and United Nations, made the following public statement: strongly condemn acts of terror, express their regret for all loss of innocent life caused by the violence, and hope for a speedy recovery to the wounded. The quartet also expressed to, quote, demonstrate maximum restraint, refrain from provocative actions, and work towards de-escalating the situation. And you can see how well that's going over the weekend. Now, that's on Monday, where they're going to have this emergency meeting. On Tuesday, July 25, the UN will have their open monthly meeting on the Mideast. So we got a lot of action getting ready to happen on Monday and Tuesday regarding these issues in and around the Temple Mount and Jerusalem. Also, I have a link provided as well, jpost.com. Security Council to hold special meeting on Jerusalem following violence. Now, the bottom line is the Muslim population is against the idea of passing through metal detectors to gain access to the Temple Mount. And frankly, the Muslim population is against the idea of any security measures. And this is a tweet that was shared from Khaled Abu Toama, who is a journalist and a TV producer. Now, this is written in Arabic, but we do have a translation provided by Bing across the hashtag. Don't ask me what that is in the Arabic. Jerusalemites reject all solutions that promote occupation through informed rather than portals. I don't know. But the bottom line, you can see they're opposed to cameras. They're opposed to handheld metal detectors. They're opposed to metal detectors. They're opposed to being frisked, and they're opposed to the Israeli police. So they don't want any security measures whatsoever. And it's not just on Twitter, and there's a Twitter link as well. If you want to check out what they're saying in the Arabic world, you can press a button and get a translation, assuming the translation is correct from the Arabic. You can do that as well. But this same attitude is conveyed in an article in the Times of Israel. And I'm not going to go into the details of the article, but the title of the article pretty much says it. Arab MK, whole Arab world will rise up if Israel doesn't remove metal detectors. They don't want metal detectors. They want the freedom to go up there on the Temple Mount with weapons and use them as they see fit. And this is being met with resistance by these folks. So, we can go back to the map today, July 23. We'll focus in on Amman, Jordan. And we had the Israeli embassy in Amman, Jordan came under attack. A stabbing of an Israeli security officer was attempted. The terrorist was killed. 2 others were injured. Going back across the border to the West Bank, Jerusalem in the middle. A family was killed Friday night during supper. Terrorist entered the home and stabbed 3 people to death. 5 others were spared. You go down south of Jerusalem, down toward Hebron. Violence between Palestinians and Israelis is occurring near the Tomb of the Patriarchs, which is another holy site. And, so you even go to the news of the day. We'll zoom in tight on Jerusalem, give you the lay of the land. Now, here is the old city. Right here in the middle is the Temple Mount. You look at the little cursor. And they're talking about all the things happening in, quote, East Jerusalem. Well, that's the Mount of Olives. Clashes continue to happen between Muslims and Israelis in East Jerusalem, or the Mount of Olives. And just as a reminder, what we can expect in the future holds the following on the Mount of Olives. Zechariah 14, verse 4, on that day his feet shall stand on the Mount of Olives that lies before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall be split in 2 from east to west by a very wide valley, so that one half of the mount shall move forward and the other half shall move southward. And this is referring to Jesus. Now, Jews don't believe it's Jesus, but he's coming again, and that is the reference where he will stand before Jerusalem to the east. Crazy times. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Rapture Watchers on Twitter. Have a link provided for him as well. He does an excellent job of keeping up with current events related to prophecy. And to finish, I'm going to quote Haley Ann. She is the executive assistant at GodInANutshell.com. And I quote, she says, "How many centimeters dilation are we today?" And that's an excellent point. Something to consider. Are we going through the birth pangs? And if so, they're going to get more intense and more frequent and closer together as the time of the return of Jesus draws near. So if you're interested in this topic, please feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Keywords: UN, Temple Mount, Israel, Jerusalem, Islam, Al-Aqsa Mosque, Temple Mount. Thanks for listening. You guys take care. Bye.